Hello students, welcome to my class for this week. In today's lecture we will be discussing some problems which came in the earlier PRMO exams. So before proceeding, let me discuss one problem which I had given you in the last lecture, and I had asked you to solve the remaining part. I had solved the first part and I had asked you to solve the remaining part. This was the problem which came in IMO 1960. Determine all three-digit numbers which are equal to 11 times the sum of the squares of their digits. Okay, so one of you have done this and you had posted the solution. Joydeep has done, so that's a good attempt by Joydeep. Let us discuss this part. This part already I had discussed, so just still let us have a look. Let the three-digit number be denoted by xyz. Then by the given condition we get 100x plus 10y plus z equal to 11 times of x square plus y square plus z square. Okay, and from there we come to the conclusion that 11 divides x minus y plus z. Okay, and from there, since x and x, y, z are digits, we saw that the maximum value of x minus y plus z is 18, maximum possible value, and the minimum possible value is minus 8. Okay, and so x minus y plus z is divisible by 11, means that there are only two possibilities: x minus y plus z is 0 or x minus y plus z is 11. Okay, so I had done the case 1 in the earlier lecture, and through case 1 the answer that came was I think it's 550. 550 is a solution, and I had asked you to solve the remaining part. Okay, this was where I stopped in the last lecture. X minus y plus z is 11, so I had written that try it yourself. So let us see how how we can complete it. So after we put the value, we will get a quadratic equation of this type: 2x square plus x into 2z minus 32 plus 2z square minus 23z plus 131. Okay, it's not that difficult, you just simplify, you will get this quadratic equation. And if you remember, in the earlier lecture also I had said, since this quadratic equation has only integer roots, so its discriminant has to be a perfect square. In general, if the quadratic equation has rational roots, then the discriminant has to be a perfect square, right? So we will use this concept. So let us find out the discriminant. It is 2z minus 32 whole square minus 4 into 2 into this quantity. So after simplification it comes out to be this. You can take minus 4 common, minus 4 multiplied with this. Okay, and we want the roots to be integers. That means the discriminant has to be positive. Okay, greater than or equal to 0, right? So that also we have to keep in mind. So gradually we put z equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9. We see that for z equal to 3, okay, so here we are doing a little bit of trial and error. Put z equal to 0, it's 24, minus 24, so it's negative. So a negative, and it's not a perfect square also, so it will not work. Put z equal to 1, you will get to be 3 minus 14, that is minus 11, plus 6 is minus 5, minus 5 into minus 4, that is 20, so that's not a perfect square. Okay, so that way you will see that for z equal to 3, d will be 36, which is a perfect square, and for any other value of z greater than or equal to 4, d comes out to be negative. Okay, so we don't need to check it further. So z is 3. So once you get z is 3, you put it in this equation which I had written. Maybe it was equation 1, or yeah, sorry, it was equation 3. This will be equation 3. Sorry, this is equation 3. So 3 implies, right? Just let me write it as 3. 3 implies this. Okay, so if you solve this, you will get the value of x as 8 or 5. Okay, so you have to check which value works. We already have x minus y plus z is 11, so there if you put the value of x and z, y comes out to be 0, and if you put the value of x as 5, y comes out to be negative, which is not possible. Hence the number is 803. Okay, this is the number, right? So you see that we needed only the concept of quadratic equation to solve this problem. Okay, nothing much more. right? Let us try this problem, PRMO 2017. It came in PRMO 2017, and one of our students, Sanjeevan, had asked me, had actually solved this few days back, and he sent me a message that whether it was correct or not, and yeah, he got the correct answer. So let me explain it nicely here. How many positive integers less than 1000 have the property that the sum of the digits of each such number is divisible by 7 and the number itself is divisible by 3? Okay, so we need a bit of theory here. So let us denote such a number by xyz. Okay, since the numbers are less than 1000, so they are of at most 3 digits. The reason for taking xyz, since the numbers are less than 1000, that means the number of digits is at most 3. Okay, so we can take it as xyz. So here we allow x to be 0 also to represent 2-digit numbers. Okay, yeah, so by question 7 divides x plus y plus z. Okay, also 3 divides xyz, right? Means that the number is divisible by 3. Okay, but by properties of divisibility we know a number is divisible by 3 even only if the sum of the digits of that number is divisible by 3. Okay, so that means 3 also divides x plus y plus z. So x plus y plus z is a number which is divisible by both 3 and 7, right? That means x plus y plus z is a common multiple of 3 and 7. Okay, right? It's a common multiple of 3 and 7, but what is the least common multiple of 3 and 7? It's 21. So that means 21 should divide 3 x plus y plus z. Okay, or in other words we can also say like that: 7 divides this, 3 divides this, and GCD of 3 and 7 is 1. So their product will divide x plus y plus z. Okay, so that is also a result from number theory which was also discussed, right? So, but x, y, z are digits. We have to remember that x, y, z are digits. So maximum possible value of x plus y plus z is what? 27. Okay, so 21 divides x plus y plus z means there are only two possibilities: x plus y plus z is either 0 or 21. Okay, because the next multiple of 21 will be 42, but x plus y plus z cannot be 42. Okay, so there are only two options. So, but the numbers that are required are to be positive. Okay, we want positive integers, right? Yeah, it was written there, right? How many positive integers? Yes, so we want positive integers. So x plus y plus z cannot be 0, because in that case the number itself will be 0, right? So the only possibility is that x plus y plus z has to be 21, right? So it is to be observed that the 2-digit numbers do not satisfy this equation 1, as the maximum sum of the digits of a 2-digit number is 18, because if the number is of 2 digits then x has to be 0. So y plus z is 21, but that is not possible because y and z are, maximum value of y and z is 9. Okay, so 9 plus 9 21. Oh, so sorry, 9 plus 9 is 18, which is less than 21, right? So the number has to be of 3 digit. Okay, so x should be non-zero. Also we observed that if we take x to the other side, then y plus z is 21 minus x, and the sum of the two digits has to be less than or equal to 18. Okay, so 21 minus x is less than or equal to 18. That means x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, similarly y and z, they are also greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so these are some observations we have made. So now let us just list it. So the problem reduces to finding out x, y, z which satisfy x plus y plus z equal to 21. Okay, so since x is greater than or equal to 3, we can start from x equal to 3 onwards. Okay, so we now list the following possibilities. Okay, so now I think all of you will understand why I had given you the problems of listing. Okay, how to list the numbers, how to list the digits satisfying certain conditions. These are very important. You will see many of the problems will require this type of listing. Okay, say so the first value of x that we start with is 3, and if x is 3, the value of y plus z is 18. Okay, so what are the possible values of y and z? Because y and z are digits, so the only possible value of y and z is 9 and 9. Okay, y is 9, z is 9. Otherwise the sum of the digits will not be 18, right? Okay, so we have one number from here. What is that number? The number is 399, right? Then if x is 4, then y plus z is 17. So in that case there are two possibilities, 8 9 and 9 8. So there are two such numbers here. If x is 5, then if y plus z is 16, and for that there are 3 possibilities. Okay, so we have listed it here. If x is 6, then this y and z, they have 4 possibilities. Okay, if x is 7, they have 5 possibilities, like that. If x is 8, they have 6 possibilities. If x is 9, there are 7 possibilities. Okay, so number of such numbers will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to 7, that is 28. Okay, so 28 is the correct answer. Okay, so please try to do it yourself. Please try to do the listing yourself. We can do this problem without listing as well, but the process of doing that I haven't done with you so far. Okay, that will require the finding out the number of non-negative solutions of the equation, say y plus z equal to 16. Okay, we can find out how many non-negative solutions, integer solutions will be there. Okay, right. So that that also can be done. Okay, but I prefer this particular method because it also gives the list, the actual elements or actual numbers. Okay, so if somebody asks you to find out the list all possible numbers, then you can easily list it out. Okay, so I prefer this particular method here, right? And it's also very necessary. This type of listing is very much necessary in building up your concepts. Okay, building up the step-by-step process of dealing with this type of problems. Okay, so better you do it this way. We will come to that other methods later. Okay, then let us try this problem. Let a and b be positive real numbers such that a root a plus b root b is 183 and a root b plus b root a is 182. Then find the value of 9 by 5 into a plus b. Okay, so it's very simple. It will just require the things that you have done in school, just substitutions and all. Okay, so we have this a root a plus b root b is 183, a root b plus b root a is 182. Okay, add them up, you will get a plus b into root a plus root b equal to 365. Okay, so name it as equation 1. Now one thing you can observe that if since a and b are positive, so we can take a as x squared and b as y squared. Okay, right, they are positive, so they can be written as square of some positive real number. And if you substitute that in the first equation, then we'll get x square into this plus y square into this. So the main motive is we want to get rid of the square root term. Okay, they are really disturbing, right? So we want to get rid of that square root term and get something similar. We are more comfortable with this type of formula, x cube plus y cube, right? So we get x cube plus y cube is 183. You put it in the second equation and get some other relation between x and y. Okay, you will get something like x square y plus xy square equal to 182, and then you try to use those two to find the value of x plus y. Okay, so this also I give you as a homework. You try to do it yourself. Okay, we will discuss in the next video. It's not that difficult, it's quite simple. I think the value comes out to be 73. Okay, the value comes out to be 73, then the answer is 73. Okay, please try to do it yourself. It should be, the value should be 73, right? Okay, now let us go to another problem. This also came in PRMO 2017 paper. Find the number of positive integers n which satisfy root n plus root over n plus 1 less than 11. Okay, so it's also a sort of trial and error things and analyzing the situations, right? So given root n plus root over n plus 1 is less than 11. Okay, so we observe that square root of n plus 1 is strictly greater than square root of n. Okay, so if I add this 2, right, if root n is say 7, then this has to be more than 7, so their sum will be more than 14. Okay, so something like that. So the sum is less than 11. If one of them is 5, okay, and the other is 6, more than 5, say other is 6, then the sum is 11. Okay, but I want something less than 11. Okay, so it's a simple observation that if root n is greater than or equal to 6, okay, then root over n plus 1 will be strictly greater than 6. So in that case, their sum will be strictly greater than 12. Okay, so it doesn't satisfy 1. That means root n cannot be greater than or equal to 6. Okay, is it clear? If root n is greater than or equal to 6, then root over n plus 1 is also strictly greater than 6. And if you add them up, we will get it is this sum is greater than 12. But we want that the sum is less than 11. That means root n cannot be greater than or equal to 6. Okay, so our domain of the solution has become very small now. Root over we have to find how many integers satisfy less than or equal to n less than root n less than or less than 6. Okay, but that's yeah, we have to check something more also, right? So as of now we know that root n has to be strictly less than 6. That means n has to be less than 36. Okay, but we can let us see if we can find out a smaller upper bound. Okay, if we can find a smaller upper bound for the value of root n. Okay, so you observe that if root n is greater than or equal to 5.5, okay, 5.5, then also square root of n plus 1 is strictly greater than 5.5, right? So their sum will be greater than 11. That means root n cannot be greater than or equal to 5.5. So root n has to be less than 5.5. That means n has to be less than 30.25. Okay, that means but n is an integer, right? So n has to be less than or equal to 30. N less than 30.25 means n is less than or equal to 30. Okay, now let us see if 30 satisfies this or not. So if n is 30, then what happens to this square? This square becomes 30 plus 31 plus 2 into root 30 into root 31, right? But in that case it is strictly greater than 30 plus 31 plus 2 into root 30 into root 30. Okay, because root over 31 is greater than root 30, right? So this total sum is greater than 121, right? The total sum is greater than sum whole square is greater than 121, which is 11 square. That means root n plus root over n plus 1 is strictly greater than 11. So if n is 30, the value of n doesn't satisfy this inequation. So n cannot be 30. So n has to be less than 30. That means n is less than or equal to 29. Okay, so now let us see whether for 29 this sum is less than 11 or not. So for n equal to 29, we have root n plus root over n plus 1 square is root 29 plus root 30 whole square, which can be written as 29 plus 30 plus 2 into root 29 into root 30, and this is less than this plus this, right? Root 29 is less than root 30. Okay, so we can replace. So the whole quantity will be strictly less than this. Okay, but what is this quantity? It's actually 119, which is strictly less than 121. That means for n equal to 29, this sum is less than 11. Okay, and so for any n which is less than 29, we have root over n plus root over n plus 1 will be less than root 29 plus root 30. But this quantity is less than 11. We have already proved. Okay, thus all positive integers from 1 to 29 satisfy the given inequality. Okay, so required number of such positive integers will be 29. There are exactly 29 positive integers from 1 to 29 which satisfy this. Okay, right. Another problem which I'll give you as a homework is this. It also came in PRMO 2017. Find the number of ordered triplets A, B, C of positive integers such that ABC is 108. Okay, that is, you have to find out ordered triplet. That means say 1, 1, 108. That also satisfies this ABC equal to 108. Okay, 108, 1, 1. That also satisfies. Okay, so because order is important, so they will be considered separately. Say for example 1, 1, 108. Okay, this also satisfies ABC is equal to 108. Okay, 108, 1, 1. This also satisfies ABC equal to 108. Okay, so like that. We have to find out how many ordered pairs satisfy this. Okay, so for that we have to express 108 as a product of 3 positive integers. Okay, all possible ways that we can do it. Okay, so this is what I want you to try. 108 can be written as 1 into 1 into 108. It can be written as 1 into 2 into 54, 1 into 3 into 36. Okay, so what is the process? You keep on increasing this middle value, keep the first value fixed, keep on increasing the middle value and see how far you can go. Okay, So up to 9 you can go. After that there will be repetition. Then you increase this the second value, right? Increase the second value, keep it fixed. Then keep on increasing this middle coordinate, okay, and see how far you can go, right? So that way you will not miss any of the term. Don't go randomly, okay. If you go randomly, there will be some mistakes, okay. First you keep the first position fixed, okay. First position is 1. So with 1 in the first place, how many such numbers you can form, okay. With 2 in the first place, how many you can form, right? With 3 in the first place, how many you can form? With 4 in the first place, we don't have to check because 4 is already used here, okay. So we have already dealt with the case of 4. So our search will end at this position, okay, right? So now yeah, so we have just expressed 108 as a product of 3 numbers, but your job is not over. Your job is to find exactly how many such ordered triplets can be formed, okay. This is your task that you have to find out, okay. And let me give you the answer also. As per the PRMO paper, the answer will be, just let me search PRMO. The answer for this one, number of ordered triplets, this was question number, you can search it in PRMO website as well. This was question number 21. Let me see what happens. Question number 21, the number of ordered triplets will be 60, okay. So please do it at home and see whether you get exactly 60 such ordered triplets or not, okay. The answer has to be 60, okay. So please try to do it yourself, and you can send the answers in the WhatsApp group, okay, no problem, right? So another problem, I give you this also as a homework. I'll give you some hints, no problem for that. Find the number of triples ABC of positive integers such that A less than B less than C less than 10 and A, B, C, 10 form the sides of a quadrilateral, okay. A, B, C and 10 form the sides of a quadrilateral, okay. So observe that A, B, C are positive integers with A less than B less than C less than 10. So what should be the maximum value of A? A will be 7 maximum. The maximum value of B will be 8 and maximum value of C will be 9, right? Okay. Also, sum of the 3 sides of a quadrilateral is greater than the 4th side, right? So we have A plus B plus C is strictly greater than 10, right? And since A less than B less than C less than 10, so sum of any 2 sides with 10, okay, if we take 10 as one of the sides and you add up the other 2 sides, that sum will be automatically greater than the 4th side, okay. We don't have to worry because the 10 is the largest side, okay. So we just need to worry about this one. A plus B plus C should be greater than 10, okay. So the problem reduces to finding ABC such that A lies between 1 and 7, B lies between 2 and 8, C lies between 3 and 9, and all of these are they satisfy the strict inequality, and the sum of A plus B plus C is greater than 10, okay. So we can list the possibilities below, okay. So here again you have to go to the listing process, right? A is 1. If A is 1, B has to be greater than A, so B can be 2, right? If B is 2, then 2 plus 1 is what? 3. But the sum A plus B plus C has to be greater than 10, so C cannot be 7, C has to be 8 or 9, okay. If C is 6 also, then also the sum A plus B plus C is 9, it's less than 10, okay. So we need to take care of that inequality. A plus B plus C should be greater than 10, okay. So this is what we require here. A plus B plus C should be strictly greater than 10, okay. Under this condition we find out the solutions, okay. So if A is 1, B is 3, then the possible values of C are 7, 8 or 9. If A is 1, B is 4, then 4 plus 1 is 5, so C has to be 6, 7, 8 or 9, okay. So that way these are the possibilities, okay. But the answer is not over till now. You have to check how many possibilities are there with A as 2, with A as 3, A as 4, okay, like that. So please list out everything. I have not completed this, and most probably the answer will come out to be 73, okay. Just check, this is the answer, whether you get the answer as 73. There are 73 such triples that can be formed. Okay, so please try these problems. So this was my lecture for this week. See you next week, but please try to do these problems in your spare time. Okay, thank you.